Hi, a very warm welcome to everybody to our series of Innovation Thursdays brought to you by IMDA. My name is Manchong and I'll be your MC for today. Today is the first of three Innovation Thursday sessions for our Innovation Call number 9. There will be a different set of problem owners sharing next week and the week after, so please do join us. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that if you have questions, you may type them in the Q&A bar below. We will try our best to take your questions, but if we can't, we will post them onto the OIP forum after. The OIP is a virtual crowdsourcing platform that bridges real business challenges or digitalization opportunities of enterprises and tech firms. Challenges hosted on the OIP are supported by a structured innovation process, including refinement, curation, and scouting of problem solvers. Problem owners gain access to a diverse pool of solvers, both locally and regionally, while tech firms receive capability support for evaluation and prototyping. The OIP was one of three platforms highlighted by our Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat at his recent budget speech to boost innovation and transformation. Very soon, we will be launching new features such as search engine to facilitate innovation discovery, digital bench to accelerate rapid prototyping. Today, we are honored to have five problem owners, namely Global Training Services, Singapore Airlines, Republic of Singapore Air Force, the Doctor Plus Wellness, and MOH TCM Practitioners Task Force, and lastly, Genesis Frontier. So on behalf of IMDA, I would like to thank you for your support and being committed to innovation and being trailblazers in your industry. Together, let's appreciate that these companies are stepping forward to take the lead in innovation and giving us the opportunity to solve problems with them. The innovation, the open innovation platform wouldn't be possible with you as solvers as well and innovators. So do take this opportunity to get to know the companies and their challenges and utilize the OIP to work on the challenges together. Just a gentle reminder, any questions that you may have, you may type them in the Q&A box below or at our OIP forum. So we sincerely appreciate you taking the time to join us today, and we look forward to a fruitful session. So before we begin, let's see a short video on the OIP before I share about OIP to some of the new problem owners and solvers that are joining this Innovation Thursday series. Okay, could you please play the video?
The economy of the future is digital, and innovation will be a key driver. So how do we accelerate the pace of innovation and digitalization to give our enterprises a competitive edge? The Open Innovation Platform, or OIP, is an initiative by the IMDA. It is a virtual platform that connects and matches challenges of problem owners such as SMEs, large enterprises and government agencies to a pool of problem solvers with different expertise. This is Sarah. She is the Chief Innovation Officer of Company A. She would like to find innovative digital solutions to address her company's business challenge. She discusses her challenge with an IMDA officer and explains what she's looking for. IMDA then helps to launch Sarah's challenge through the OIP, allowing her to access a diverse pool of ideas and technology expertise immediately. Problem solvers around the world can see Sarah's challenge on the OIP, and those with the right capabilities for Sarah's challenge apply through the portal. Sarah and IMDA jointly evaluate, shortlist, and select the best solution from Company Y. Eric is the founder of Company Y. He works with Sarah to turn his idea into a working prototype that is demonstrated and tested in Sarah's facility. Sarah is happy with the successful prototype and awards Eric with prize monies. Sarah and Eric partnered to commercialize the solution and roll it out across Southeast Asia. Sarah increases the productivity of a company's operations, while Eric scales up his product successfully with this new customer reference. With the Open Innovation Platform, we have an innovation ecosystem that is always open for all enterprises, large and small. Join us on the Open Innovation Platform.
Thank you. So today I will share about the OIP to new problem owners and solvers. So the Open Innovation Platform, as you know, is a platform that bridges problem owners to problem solvers, supported by a structured innovation process and physical innovation facility for ideation and commercialization, together with technology and market enablers. Together, we've hosted more than 170 challenges to date. Now, so here we are in the OIP process. We are currently in the application phase. After the application phase, remember the deadline for submissions for all proposals is on 19th of March. So please do not miss out the deadline. After which, problem owners will evaluate and select the various proposals, then proceed on with POC and prototype generation, and then proceed on to deployment and adoption. So the benefits of joining OIP, right, is of course the prize money for each challenge. In addition, solvers will also gain access to a wide range of support by IMDA, which includes expanded business opportunities, mentorship, and innovation support. Resources from the OIP, all challenge finalists will gain access to a range of resources during the development phase of the OIP to assist you in the successful development of the prototype or proof of concept. So some of these resources include access to our innovation facilities, digital experience consultancy, industry mentorship, tech partner support, and market access opportunities. I'll explain in a little bit more detail. Now, for challenge finalists, they will be able to gain access to our innovation facility and labs, namely the Pixel, which is a 26,000 square foot innovation space, acting as a physical catalyst to ideate, experiment, and to build customer-centric digital products and services. And also to Nanyang Polytechnic's Digital Engineering Innovation Center, Computing Infrastructure, and also ST Engineering's InnoSpark Open Innovation Lab. Challenge finalists will also be able to learn how to design solutions that have customer-centric digital experiences via workshops, one-to-one consultation sessions, and project-based coaching in any of the following digital innovation capabilities, namely design thinking, UI/UX design, digital storytelling, and immersive experiences. Challenge finalists will also be able to tap on a pool of experienced digital and Challenge finalists will be able to tap on a pool of experienced technology, industry, and legal experts to share insights and catalyze the development of their innovation solutions. They will be able to leverage on various open source APIs and software capabilities of our technology partners, namely by GovTech, IMDA's Digital Services Lab, and Singapore Land Authority's OneMap app. So just to share, shortlisted solvers will also be able to be invited to join IMDA Spark or accreditation programs, where you'll be considered for contracts with government agencies and large enterprises, as well as support for new capital growth. Here are some of the success stories on our platform, which we have been publishing on our OIP platform, and also some of the testimonials from some of these winners. So I sincerely wish all the solvers all the best in your proposal submissions and for this OIP Call 9. So with that, we are open for innovation. You get exposure to real business challenges from potential clients, receive mentorship and support from a structured innovation process, and lastly, gain access to physical innovation and prototyping facilities. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome our first speaker of today, Mr. Ben Chong, Director of Education at Global Training Services, GTS. GTS is an ISO certified training center for the construction sector's workforce. They teach essential industry knowledge and skills and also help to increase awareness of workplace safety and health, all to foster a safe working environment, working culture for all. Yes. Okay. So today he is seeking a solution for engaging and immersive training learning experience. So over to you, Mr. Ben.
Thank you, Manchong.
Hey.
Hi. I would like to take this opportunity to thank IMDA for actually providing us this platform, especially Mr. Manchong as well as Mr. Bay that is helping me very closely to digitalize our processes and bring us to another platform, as in higher than what we are doing now. So, okay, for Manchong, I will be able to toggle the slides, or when I say next, you will do it for me.
Yeah, just say next and
all right.
And yeah, we will shift the slides for you.
Okay, once again, Hi everyone, my name is Ben. Okay, so I will be sharing with you guys on some of our problems and potential solution that you guys could actually facilitate us and work together to provide an engaging and immersive training learning experience. Thanks. So Manchong, next. Okay, a brief context of GTS. We are an ISO certified training center, generally to cater training for the workforce in the construction sector. So currently we are also moving towards the banking and finance sector. So from operational to supervisory as well as the managerial level. Okay, so what we do is to help our participant, our students to gain access to the industry knowledge as well as the skills so that they are able to enhance their work capability as well as the workplace safety and health awareness to provide a safety as well as a skilled environment for them. So currently we faces with several operational limits, such as ranging from the training capacity to the venue that we are having. So that resulted in some of the courses that need to wait up to 3 months. So of course, on this note, right, we could have two options. Number one is to increase the venue, hire more trainers. However, that is option one. However, we might be looking at another option is to digitalize our training so that we still can cater to this amount of participants with a digitalized platform. Okay, so what we do is to upgrade as well as to enable them to increase their earning capacity. So next, Manchong. Okay, so some challenges that we faces. Okay, when we are planning to conduct such a hybrid manner. Okay, so it is also called as blended learning. So what problem we faces? So it is difficult to engage and motivate students. So why do we say so? Maybe I will just share with you guys. We have did some research, okay, as in do some interview, ground research. So most of the students is actually they for the past 10 to 15 years, it has been the same method of learning. Having a chair, a projector, a whiteboard, and then start the whole training from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. So that is quite stagnant as well as repetitive. So there is limited element of surprises in there. Of course, we can say that we will be having case study, we will be showing them with videos. So I believe that they have already preempted all this sequence, so the attention span became very low. So even as a trainer, I would let them change their seat. So just to grab more attention from them. But I believe that technology or digitalizing it can actually increase the attention span as well as motivation to it. Yeah. So we are keen to look into interactive technology such as AR, VR, or anything similar to it. Okay. So we have also looked into gamification on how to engage the student by giving them more motivational points, like providing them points or to change them with to change with other perks. So operationally, GTS has repetitive processes. So speaking of the participant itself, right, our trainer, it's also facing a difficulty. So I call it trainer fatigue. So to them, they are doing the same modules day in, day out for maybe 30 days or rather 20 days per month. So they have been seasoned to be like a recorder. So what they do is that they play it or they will start the whole curriculum again. So there is a certain trainer fatigue. So they are actually they are a bit tired. So I wanted some digitalized platform to replace the repetitiveness, however, be more effective on it. Yeah. So next, Manchong. So the problem statement came. How might we create an engaging and immersive digital learning experience, as well as an easy and efficient way to onboard, processed and certified the student. Yeah, next. So so what we are looking at so we are looking for a prototype digital learning solution, a platform to complement existing training courses. These involve innovative training features that will use mainly error-based learning approach to enable an immersive, engaging, and interactive experience. So maybe I explain to you guys why we wanted an error-based, because in terms of workplace safety and health, we wanted to show them if they did not follow closely, most of the time it will lead to the life and death of that particular person. Okay, so that is why we thought that error-based learning would be most effective. So the solution could include features such as engaging, okay, immersive, accessibility. So a bit of engaging. We wanted our participant to be engaged. To be frank, we did a small research or survey. A lot of a student or participant that I have spoken to, they would like to engage. You guess who? Their family member to be in the learning process. So that is very interesting. So that if we could have a platform that could engage the student itself plus the family, or if not the organization manager to be involved, right? Then that would actually serve the purpose, as well as allowing them to be more. That there will be more element of surprises inside. So we want some platform that is engaging, immersive. As we know, if we are speaking on the workplace safety and health, we can't be really putting them into a danger situation. So immersive scenario can come in if they could show them that, you know, the whole building are burnt out, or there is a floor opening there. So when the particular person is immersed inside, they will drop. They will feel the drop. So that is something that we are looking at. Accessibility. Yes, for accessibility, we actually have a handful of participants that are holding on to smartphone, or to be frank, 95% of the participant, they are already holding on to a smartphone and they are able to use it. So if we could allow smartphone to be accessible through, we can allow learning to be accessible via the smartphone, that would be perfect. Okay, next, Manchong. Okay, it must be efficient. So GTS don't feel that the training is actually comprises between that 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 p.m. So we think that a lot of the time training could be done prior to the actual classes, and as well as after that. So that is a certain degree of retaining the knowledge that they have learned. So we want it to be efficient. So we wanted to put some assessment scores to it, before and after it. So ideally, the solution should provide a flexibility of the course content plugged into the system to be easily scaled up, additional capabilities as well as functionals. Okay, so there is no restriction in the geographical location of the problem solver who may choose to be applied to this challenge. We have also a group of learners that is not situated in Singapore. So we wanted to really let them have the training before they even reach locally, okay, for their job to be done. So that is on the geographical location. So next, Manchong. So some possible use cases. So a new student enrolled to a, so this will be some cases that we faces. So a new student enrolls to a training course, receive confirmation and a schedule as well as the program. So we wanted to look into the pre-training so that we could actually understand the participant even better, so that we can put them into the same group. Okay, that because different students will have their strength at doing this. So we wanted to put a student that is of the same caliber to be there to ensure effective training to be conducted to them. So self-learning modules are immediately accessible on their mobile device. Participants participate in digital ice break and as with his future peers on the mobile device while commuting to the work site. So that is also another thing that I wanted to share. I mean, we think that training need not be top down, not the trainer to the participant only. We thought that we could have ambassador or peers conducting the training as well as guidance to them. So if that platform could do that, that would be perfect. Okay, so we will be giving points or candy points for them for their participation, as well as which they can exchange for merchandise or virtual gift such as voucher. Okay, so that is generally the possible case one. Next. Okay, the GTS trainer review all the pre-training materials submission by the student and prepare an in-person training session. That is what I'm trying to say, that we will do some pre-assessment to understand what is the trainee's strength and weakness. Okay, so that we could actually in Chinese called 对症下药. That means we will give the correct dosage to the one that they are the medicine that they are not strong, they are weaker at. Okay, so he shares various case study related to the material, then proceed with an augmented reality to showcase the machinery and allow students to explore the minute detail. So we are also into the machinery checking as well as pre-use check, and so that is the area that we are looking at. Okay, so so after which the trainer then administer a testing digitally, which each student will repeat until a passing mark is achieved. Okay, once the exercise is complete, the trainer administer a real-life simulation of the assessment of which is normally invigilated by a representative for the respective government agency. So a bit to add on to that is that most of our training, it's required to be closely invigilated, especially during assessment, because we are actually closely related to some of the government agencies such as SSG, MOM, BCA, LTA. Yeah, so if possible, live scoring is immediately computed and a certificate is automatically issued to respective students. Yeah, thanks, Manchong. Next.
Next slide. Any more?
Okay, no. For this slide, will be so we are actually
prize money of $30,000 for the winner of this challenge. Yeah.
Yep. So able to gain access to IMDA technology resources as well as facility for prototype, gain access to the expertise related to the project, as well as test resource, as well as be a co-developer or supplier of GTS to commercialize the solution.
Next. Okay, maybe I'll help you with this. So for all solvers, right, for all the challenges that you see hosted, so this is a standard set of evaluation criteria where all problem owners will go through as well. So it is namely, solution fit, solution readiness, solution advantage, company profile. So in your submissions on the platform for your proposals, please cover some of these, around all of these areas, right, in your PowerPoint or PDF proposal submission. Yep. Next. Okay. Now, thank you, Ben. Here, okay, so we are now at the Q&A session. So like I said, if anyone has any questions, please type it into the Q&A box below. We will be able to answer it live immediately. If you have any questions for Ben, anyone at this point? Maybe I'll just start off the ball rolling. So Ben, we do have one question. Okay, so this person, Sonia, she would like to seek more clarification with regards to some of these points. Okay, so what kind of training content and courses are you intending to use the solution for? For the training, Ben, are you able to see the questions online?
Yes, I'm able to see it.
Sure, then, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Sonia, for the question. So maybe I will just reiterate the question that you have been asking. So what kind of training content courses are you intending to use for the solution? So we have a series of contents from workplace safety and health to even banking and finance, and also other technical skilled courses for the construction industry. So there are different training contents as courses that it's planning to be implemented with this digital solution. So that for the second question, for the training, are we to develop the content for you or the platform for you to develop the content on your own? Okay, so for the second question, right, we have actually got the content up. However, we also understand that not every content can be perfectly fit into the digitalized platform. We need to do some tweaking, or if not, do some interactive learning. Okay, so we have the content, okay, but we will need to sit down to discuss on how can we make the content more interactive. So that is the answer for
Question two. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So number 3, is there a platform where you
perform administrative duties
such as research on student previous certification? Okay, and are we to link the solution to the platform? So of course, this particular platform need to also do the administrative portion of it, such as providing them with the previous records, training records. Then so it is also providing a platform for the employer, okay, to come in to actually verify the certification that they are doing, or rather they have done, and so that would be ideal for that particular platform. Any preference for technology for the fourth question, AR or VR? I have no preference on any technology. However, we have been looking into VR, and we also measures the strength and weakness of each of the solution. So ideally, right, we wanted an immersive learning, okay, with little how do I say? I believe that VR has VR fatigue. So something that could replace the fatigueness as well as the
maybe I'll just add on. So Ben, in our conversations that we had, so I think one of the use case for VR was that, for example, in a boiler room of a ship.
Yep.
Correct. So it may not always be possible to simulate, the environment within which the worker will have to operate, or will have to learn the new skills in. So for example, if there can be AR, and of course, VR in a boiler room of a ship or vessel, that would be very useful as well. Okay, so that's some of the activities. Okay, the questions are coming really fast. Okay, from Drew McGuire, are you looking for a single platform, or are you more interested in a learning solution experience that might use multiple technologies?
So we are okay. Hi Drew. Okay, so we are looking for most probably not a single platform. We will be interested in the learning solution experience that able to use different technologies to come in place. Yeah. So that might be what we are looking at.
Okay, so the next one from Benjamin Lim. Would the solution need to be linked to a certification system platform? Are most of the training to be location environment based?
Okay, question number 1. For the certification system, right? We will need to build up the platform, and we will need to propose to the different authority to share with them on the capability in order to be to put into a certification platform. So that is one of it. So ideally it will be a certification platform, okay, but we need to seek clearance with different authority on it. So of course, the better the system is being built up to be invigilated, okay, with high degree of fairness, then that will increase the chances of it. So most of the training be location environment based. You might want to, Benjamin, you might want to explain on that.
Yeah, I think okay. What we do is that we'll take this offline. Benjamin, you can
Yep.
just email us, or any of the problem solvers, you can email us at info@openinnovation.sg, and then we will reach out to Ben to get a full answer, and we'll publish his answer on the forum itself. Okay, maybe we just take two more questions. Let's see. From William, would global training services be incorporating a full-scale augmented reality into future training activities?
Yeah, hi William. Yes, why not? We will be looking at full scale AR, okay, if possible, to actually conduct our training. But we are also looking at gamification to do pre-assessment tests, or if not post-assessment learning. As shared, we believe that training don't only confine to that particular 8 or 16, or if not 1 or 2 days training. So we think that training can be done concurrently. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we just take one last question because we are running out of time. Uh, content creation is an expensive exercise. So this is from Edmund Cole. Okay, so
Yes.
content creation is expensive exercise, especially for AR VR. So if custom content is needed to create that, it's not enough. How is a project finance past a prototype stage? Okay, so essentially, maybe I'll answer this
Yep.
on Ben's behalf. So the scope for, or rather the prize money, right, is essentially for a prototype solution. Okay, that means to say that solvers submit their proposal on how they think or what they have that they think can solve the problem owner's problem, right? And the prize money of 30K is purely just for that prototype. So subsequently, every company would definitely have a much bigger project budget. Okay, so this is a prototype budget. So do not mistake it for the entire project budget, which of course cannot be reviewed. So to answer Edmund's question, yes, so this $30,000 in terms of prize money is actually meant for a prototype solution, not for the entire project. Yep. Okay, so I think with that, I shall end the session. We would record this session is recorded and you'll be available live on our platform. And thank you so much, Ben, for all your help in sharing about your problem statement and participating. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next up, let's welcome Ms. Lee Ka Hui, Manager In-Flight Services, System Admin from Singapore Airlines. She has been with the company for 15 years in various roles spanning across different business units focusing on digital deliverables. She's passionate about driving automation and solutions that delivers business value as well as achieving customer satisfaction. Today, she'll share with us about seeking a contactless on-demand self-service in-flight ordering system. She is also joined by Ms. Tan Ming Eng, delivery manager with over 20 years experience in Singapore Airlines, working alongside business teams to deliver innovative solutions. So Ms. Tan specializes in airlines flight technology development and deployment and is responsible for leading the applications team for successful implementation. So with that, over to you, ladies.
Hi everyone, I'm Kahui. Okay, I'll just bring you through the background of what we are looking for. So, Manchong, maybe next slide. Okay, so basically we are keen to develop an in-flight digital ordering service which empowers our passenger to submit orders through their personal devices on board. So this actually helps to reduce the number of contact interaction between our passengers and our air crew, minimizing the risk of COVID-19 infection. So for this challenge, right, we are looking for solutions that can enable an in-flight digital ordering through passenger and crew existing mobile devices. So the PAX will be allowed to actually make meal order, food order, or even like amenities orders and so on. So basically, essentially, the ordering service. Next. So the problem statement that we have here is, how may we develop an in-flight digital ordering service with minimum infrastructure and air-to-ground communications? I'll walk through the current procedure that we have. Currently, a PAX would actually approach a crew through a call light and button. So they'll press the call button and the crew will approach the PAX and the passenger and ask them, what would you like to have? So the PAX will actually will actually let the crew know what they would like to have, and the crew will immediately goes to the galley to obtain the item and pass it on to the PAX. So for other services, like for example, that can be rendered immediately, the crew will be able to actually do so, like for example, putting the bed down and yeah. So this is actually the current procedure. The crew will need to make a trip back to the galley and come back with the items if necessary. Our ideal procedure on the next slide is such that the PAX will just place the order via the web application using their own personal devices. So the crew will be actually in the galley. Previous slide, yeah. So the crew will actually receive these orders in the galley on their own devices, the iPad, which is a company device, and they can prepare the orders in the galley itself and come right to the passenger with the item without having to come by and ask the passenger what do you want. For the next slide, I'll pass it on to Ming Ying, who will take us through from the next slide.
Hi, this is Ming Ying. I'm from SIA IT department. I'll bring you through the requirement. And for the rollout plan and the evaluation criteria, they are standard per the OIP platform, which were already covered just now. So for the requirement, basically there are three parts, functional, technical, infrastructure, as well as performance and scalability. We are looking for a browser-based solution, such like, passengers do not need to download a new application. This is actually the friction today that we face because customers are typically resistant to do so. Yeah. For the real-time ordering, what we are looking at is after the passenger place an order, cabin crew can receive passengers' order instantaneously, so that they could follow up with the fulfillment. And there should also be a notification, suitable notification to the crew, noting that the aircraft environment typically is quite noisy, and solutions should not introduce additional peripherals such as smart watches. Then there is also a requirement to have inventory tracking. This is so that we don't run out of order and disappoint our customers or passengers. And cabin crew should also be able to enable and disable the ordering features depending on the operational situation. For example, during takeoff and landing, no such services should be entertained. Yeah. And we are also looking at having analytical capability where service request data will be captured, enabling SIA to analyze patterns and improve resource usage, inventory stock taking, as well as service quality. Yeah, that is the functional part of it. So on the technical infrastructure side, we are looking at the solution must provide network connectivity between the passenger and the crew devices without the need to incur additional satellite data charges. Yeah, as you all may know, satellite data charges can be expensive. Yeah, and we are also looking at minimal infrastructure additions. Today, we are already having our onboard servers on board, so we are not looking at having additional hardware on board. Yeah, unless it is really, really necessary. Yeah. And our preferred solution is also to minimize or eliminate the need for having to have the additional server. So while we will design user interfaces for the application, the solution provider should propose within the proof of concept how the digital ordering would take place using the passenger device, crew device, and the proposed local network solution, which is the cabin Wi-Fi. And lastly, the solution should be device agnostic, meaning it should work from all reasonable mobile passenger devices like laptop, tablets, smartphones, using a common browser-based interface. Yeah, that is that part on technical infrastructure. And on the third part, which is performance and scalability, the experience is very important. We would like the passenger to have seamless experience such that they only connect only once at the beginning of flight and stay connected on the same network throughout. They should not need to toggle between network connections, for example, for their in-flight entertainment, using one SSID, and for this ordering another SSID. This is a friction to the passengers. And the solution should be safe in the sense that it should meet the certification by the aviation authority in the sense of like emissions, within the emission allowable limits, and it has to be secured. It should not introduce cybersecurity risks for the passenger and airline crew. Yeah. And it should be also reliable, highly stable, and always available for the passengers. And lastly, it should also be open for future services such as e-library or magazines and newspaper available for our local, for their local download. Yeah, with that, I look forward to all the submission and all are welcome. I'll now hand over to the organizer. Oh, okay. Maybe I should also cover the rollout plan.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our initial scope is to actually roll out with small items like amenities, snacks, and beverages. And this is so that we could then test and learn. We will try out on the short haul flight first and take all the feedback and improve the operational processes before we embark on the full rollout that covers all the SIA destinations as well as all the items in the catalog. Evaluation criteria is the same, which is 30K for each winner. And more importantly, the winner will have the opportunity to work with SIA to make impactful changes and meaningful changes. And the 3 areas of evaluation criteria will be solution fit, readiness, and advantages. And the deadline is 19th of March. Okay, that's all for me.
Okay, so thank you, Ming Ming. Thank you, Kah Hui. So as usual, so please type your questions in the Q&A box below, and then as both Ming Ming and Kah Hui will be able to answer. There is one question from Mike Zhang. Hi, will this service be free for all passengers on board? Anyone?
I mean, if we can, I mean, if this is something that we find a viable solution, definitely we would like to actually give it to all passengers.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Please type it in the Q&A section, and then we try our best to answer. Okay, here we are. Okay, I think let me see. There's one question. Can we run small servers which is very light to load data from inventory management? No, that's.
Maybe you want to take that question?
Our preference is not to have any additional hardware because to put a hardware on board is a challenging task. You know, you have to clear the aviation authorities, and also the crew will will have to sort out all the logistics of who will manage the device.
I think maybe if I can add a little bit more on that, not only is the logistic issue and getting aviation authorities clearance to mount additional devices on board, there's also limited space on board for us to place those servers. So I mean, we really have to. I mean, the galley spaces are all packed with ovens and whatnot. So it's really quite difficult for us to identify somewhere to actually put additional devices. So our idea is to really have to make use of the iPads that the crew were issued with, along with the passenger using their own devices.
Okay, there is one question from Edmund, which said that you mentioned that the app cannot be installed on the passenger's device, but that means to say that it'll be installed on the cabin crew's iPad mini?
Okay, the app basically is a browser-based app. Essentially, what we can look at is that, you know, once the passenger device is connected to our Wi-Fi, there should be a link on the Wi-Fi portal where they can click and maybe launch the application. Basically, it should not be a native app where the passenger has to download it before flight.
So
Okay, that's
maybe
clear.
if I can add on a little bit more, is like if the passenger is on board the flight already and have not pre-installed the application, it will be very cumbersome for them to be able to download something on board, especially the lack of connectivity. So if we could have it as a lightweight web-based system, web-based application, we can just have it as a QR code or URL for them to enter and put in their orders.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Azhar Malik. Can storage and processing be provided like virtual machines on existing hardware? So I think you did mention that it would be serverless, correct? So
Yeah, we are
correct
looking
me
at
if I'm wrong.
leveraging the crew devices, which is the iPad mini.
Okay. There's one question. Are solvers allowed to tap on the onboard servers?
At the moment, not for this challenge, because to do anything with the onboard server, we will need integrations with our onboard server, and that is another challenge, and it will also be very costly in terms of solution. Yeah, that will
Okay.
also increase the dependency, and it will slow down the rollout the solution.
Okay. So the iPad mini can be used for servers, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's done. Edmund has a clarification. So can they get the cabin crew to install an app?
No,
Okay.
because our crew are mainly focusing on servicing the passenger on board lah. So they are, I mean, we do not want to bog them down with going through all the passenger devices and install. And also, firstly, the principle of this solution is that we want to minimize the passenger and the crew contact.
Understand. Okay, so there's one question from Jim Wong. You mentioned in-flight SSID and ordering SSID. So can both be set up under one SSID?
Oh, that's our requirement. We wanted it to have
One
the same.
SSID.
Yes,
Understand.
and not both.
Okay, so there's one question from Eric Tan. Should we include collecting payment from duty-free items like perfume and alcohol?
You can leave that out.
Okay, got it. So I'll just reply there's outside of the scope.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? Are we allowed to tap on by servers? Okay, is there a from William To, is there a differentiation between the classes of passenger demands and needs, such as priority order, pre-ordering, and also auto recollection or return of the consumed items, such as cutlery and waste?
Okay,
I suppose if we can get the technology going, the use case can be looked upon. So I think the idea is really we want an ordering system, where a communication system essentially, where you can actually communicate with the crew without them having to walk to you. And also ultimately it doesn't rely on the air to ground connectivity, which is a satellite connectivity. So I mean, if it is a satellite connectivity, it's something that could already be easily done by like sending it to our ground servers and our ground server to send it back to the crew devices. So the whole idea, I think it looks a little bit more like a network kind of issue, a network kind of challenge that we're looking at.
Okay. There's one question from anonymous attendee. How do we authenticate the passenger?
Okay, as a start, perhaps we can rely on seat number, yeah, for the purpose of test and learn, and then we will then have to figure out what is a better way to authenticate a passenger, because we do have their booking and their seat number. It's just that passenger, when they are on board, they could also do a last minute change in their seat number lah. So there are some operational issues that might have to be ironed out as we progress further into the implementation.
Understand. Okay, so good. Are there any unanswered questions? Okay, if there are any questions, please type into the Q&A section as well. At this point, I'd like to thank Kah Hui and Ming Ming. You can, if possible, you can just hang on a couple of minutes to just type in some of the answers in the Q&A box to some of the questions that may come after your segment. Okay, thank you. So I think next up, speaking would be Representing RSAF, Republic of Singapore Air Force, is Major Alex Cutthroat Fong. Alex joined the RSAF in 2007 as an air warfare officer, specializing in air traffic control. Currently, he is the head of Air Force Recruitment Center. Today, he will share more about seeking a digital concierge for job applicants. So over to you, Major Alex. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Hi, afternoon, everybody. Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The slides I have to share on my own, is it? Or you all have it?
If you have it, you can share.
Okay.
It'd be easier. Yes, got it.
Okay.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. First, I thank Man Chong and Keng from IMDA who is supporting us through this open innovation platform for us to seek a solution for some of the pains that we have in our recruitment process. Okay, so this is the outline of my brief today. Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, yeah. Okay, so I'll just quickly run through the situation that we have today. So at the Air Force Recruitment Center, we do receive a substantial number of RSAF career-related queries annually. So many people want to join the Air Force, but we have quite a number of vocations that people can join, and at different education levels, there are also different jobs that are open to you, as well as there are also different sponsorship and training processes and some of the selection processes for the various vocations as well. So based on this, while we have the RSAF career website, which provides quite a lot of basic information, most applicants end up having to talk to one of us to have a better understanding of their situation and what is available to them, and for us to give them a better idea of whether a career in the Air Force is suitable for them. So because of this, they can either look for the information on the website, or via sending us an email, or call us on the hotline, or even come down to the center itself to have a chat. The problem with that is that the queries, some of them are not answered instantaneously, especially if they ask over an email. So over the phone wise, it's very taxing because the hotline, we can only answer about 2 to 3 people at a time, and I have limited staff who are also working on processing the application as well as answering some of these queries. So it's quite labor intensive and time consuming, and we find ourselves not able to answer as many applicants as we would wish to. So hence, because of that, we are thinking of how can we provide some personalized and contextual information to potential applicants about the RSAF, so that they via an automated solution. So what do we need? We need this. Basically, what we are envisioning is like a chatbot, and we understand that chatbots are not new. It's been in the market for a long time, but we want something that is something that's more intelligent than the chatbots that we see today, either on the HDB website or some of those government websites that we have, where the experience that you probably have with them is that it's either they are not really answering your questions, or they in the end have to refer you to call a customer service officer to follow on when the questions gets too difficult. So for this, we would like to have something that's a little bit more intelligent. So at the start, when we have the full product, it will be something that is able to provide accurate and relevant information in real time, able to analyze, the basic spoken English language, and from there, make a little bit more intelligent understanding of what the applicant is asking, and provide the answers from there, just like how a normal human operator would. But of course, when the questions gets too difficult, we do note that it could route to a solution where you will refer the person back to call us at a later time, or schedule a time for a meeting, so that we can better answer the applicant questions. But by and large, we would like the bot to be able to answer about 70 to 80% of most of the questions, which are pretty standard, we think, because we always receive a lot of them very repetitively as well. Yep, and just as like the SIA project earlier, we also like to have this bot able to store data in terms of the questions that people ask, so that we're able to understand what kind of queries that applicants have, as well as from there, hopefully it is something like a machine learning kind of bot that is able to then build on the type of questions that they ask, and feedback to us as the operator to input the questions to those answers to those questions, so that the machine that we build gets better and better over time. Yep. So these are some of the performance requirements that we need. Something that's intuitive, is accurate, reliable, engaging, and also compatible with the open system. So some possible use cases, to be able to find information on the vocations to help them make informed decisions, giving automated guidance through the application process, as well as referral to other parts of the website. So just like the other two projects, it's lagging a bit. Yep, 30,000 prize money, get access to IMDA's technology resources, also opportunity for the solution to be propagated to other government agencies as well. So evaluation criteria, so similar to other projects, solution fit, readiness, advantage, as well as look at your company profile. Yep, deadlines as well as at 19 March. So with that, come to the Q&A portion. We take any questions from the audience.
Thank you, Major Alex.
Yeah.
Okay, there are two questions from Dwayne. Okay, so the first question that he asked is, how functional a demo is required for submission, if at all? Okay, maybe I'll help you answer on your behalf.
Okay.
On the submission, on the OIP platform, right, to submit your proposal. So like I said, it's a proposal. If you have a demo which you'd like to submit as part of your proposal, you can obviously have a video and submit it as a video, right? So I think the more information that you have of as with regards to the solution that you have as a problem solver, I think the better position we will be in, or rather Major Alex will be in, to evaluate your proposal that you're proposing.
Yep.
So the next question is, will any more information be provided to incorporate into the virtual assistant, or do we just utilize what's available on the FAQ site link provided?
Yeah, for now, for the initial proposal, you can just use what the information is available to you. Of course, if you have more queries, you can always reach out to us. We can give you more information to put into the prototype or for the initial submission. Of course, then when we go on to the second selection stage or even to the prototype making stage, there of course, then we'll give you more, much more information for you to build the case for us.
Okay, any other questions from anyone? Oh, quite a number. Okay, next one is from Ketu. What kind of data available with you for chatbot, to show some examples? Okay, I think the resources for the chatbot would be obviously the Q&A to start with. Alex, do you have anything else to add for this question?
I guess for now, probably to set up the submission, you could use the FAQs that we have on our current RSCF recruitment career website, and I can use that as to show us, how do you intend to have your solution to be able to recognize that kind of questions and reach out to the answer itself, like how does that data bank work?
Okay, so Kevin Lawrence has a question. What's your view of expected interaction? Is it plain text and links to videos for the information?
Yep. Basically, basic should be made plain text. If it could be links to videos or eventually, we are also thinking of having almost like slide form kind of information packages that it could be as used as answers. So it doesn't just because for certain questions, we would think that the answers will come out better in plain text. For certain questions, maybe a pictorial kind of answers will be better. So if the answers will come out, it's like a PDF, it's just like a GIF or something that comes out that answers the applicants, that would be good. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. So I have a question from Dwayne. I think this one I can answer. So the question is, what are the timeline of selection and development of the prototype? Okay, so any key timelines? So I would say that for government projects, there is a timeline, right? For the evaluation, there's a timeline, there's a rough window of timeline for the pilot and also possibly for the implementation. So I think we will publish this on the OIP platform, okay, as in the forum itself. So, but Major Alex, is there any specific timeline that you want to highlight?
Yeah, eventually we would like the prototype to be developed sometime, the full prototype to be developed sometime between July to September. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there's one question. Which okay, so this for Mustafa. Which chat messaging platforms need to be integrated with the virtual assistant,
Which chat or messaging platforms?
if any?
I wouldn't think so. We see it as like a pop-up on our to be implemented on our recruitment website, the current website that we have.
Okay, so then there's another question: must it be deployed on-prem or on the cloud environment?
It can be both, I think. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, next question. Okay, so there's one. Are there backend actions, example queries to a database or to user-specific actions which need to be done through the chatbot, or is the purpose purely to provide information?
So there's two fronts. So one is for the applicant who is using the chatbot to acquire information about the career, and at the back end, it's for us to build a database on the type of questions that the applicants ask, so that we kind of know where they're coming from, for us to better analyze what applicants are thinking about, and then that enables us to review our recruitment strategy. And of course, then the other end is for us to further build the bot to be able to better answer questions based on what's coming in.
Thank you. There's one question from John Alam. Do you foresee that this AI chat response system will evolve to AI voice response over phone, telephone calls at some point in time down the road?
Probably not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep the questions coming, everybody. Let's see. Are there any data? Okay, there's one. Is there an existing data set? Oh no, sorry, this is from the previous. Oh yeah. So the question is there already existing data set to use for training, like existing conversations between CS and callers that can be used for demo?
Yeah, we can provide a list of questions that we typically get and the type of answers that we will provide. So I think that will help you to provide the submission and prototype as well.
Okay. There's a question by Jaren Ong. What is the plan of this prototype after it's developed? So will you be looking at making this project permanent on your website, where there will be system support and licenses and patches involved?
Yes, so if the prototype works and we find that the applicants are able to get the information they need, and yet at the same time it is something that is looks respectable, then we do intend to have this in the long run. And if it's well and good, we can even get our sister services, the Army and the Navy, to get on board. So there is expandability of this project as well.
Thank you. Awesome. So there's a question from San Lin. Does AI chat require to support multi-language?
At this moment, just English.
English for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there's a question from Mustafa. As the number of use cases, like more FAQs, increase over time, will the traditional training phrases be added into the platform by vendor or by the person in charge from RSAF?
We believe this is probably something that has to do with the maintenance. So, of course, preferably if it's something that the users, which is us, the RSAF, could change the database and answers on our own, that would be the best. But we have to see how complicated the system is and whether it makes sense to continue to engage the vendor for maintenance, or is it better for us to maintain it on our own? Yeah. So it really depends on what the case comes out to be.
Thank you. There's a question from Kevin Lawrence. As part of your data retrieval strategy, do you intend to build segments of user profiles?
Yep, we do. Yeah. So because for applicants of different profiles, actually the type of questions will be quite different. So for example, a university graduate will be asking different questions as compared to a person who is currently doing his A-levels or doing his diploma. Yeah. So there will be a subsegregation. Yeah.
Understand. So are you also looking for, so this question is from Ketu Shah. Are you also looking for API level chatbot, or is the whole solution what you're looking for?
API level chatbot is the whole solution.
It means, are you looking for a solution that can just plugged in using API, or are you looking for a complete package?
something that can be plugged in just using API. Yeah.
Understand. Okay. Any further questions, anyone? Okay. I think it's all good. Okay, so a very big thank you to Major Alex. Thank you for joining us today on this segment of Innovation Thursdays. Do stay on to type out some of the replies to questions that may still appear. So for the problem solvers who are participating, who are still in the call, please feel free to type in your questions if your questions has not been answered, and Major Alex would do his best to type in the answers for you. So with that, thank you, Major Alex, and I'll introduce. Thank you. I'll introduce the next speaker. So next up is Ms. Jesslyn Huang. She's head of TCM Care Team and consulting TCM physician, practicing at Doctor on Click. She oversees the overall operations of telemedicine platform for the TCM department. Dr. Plus Wellness Private Limited is a Singapore-based company that has developed an integrated healthcare workflow platform, Doctor on Click, bringing healthcare needs under one virtual banner, thus enhancing workflow efficiencies, improving patient outcomes, and reducing healthcare costs through virtual doctor and therapy visits. So in the next few years, they plan to expand and become the premier online medical healthcare company in Southeast Asia, India, Europe, and Latin America. She will now share more about seeking a digital tool for remote TCM consultation and diagnosis. So joining her is, joining her will also be, I think, for the Q&A session will be CTIO, Chief Technology Innovation Officer at Doctor on Click. So over to you, Justin. I'm sorry.
No worries. Hi,
welcome.
Very good afternoon to all. So I'll be sharing the screen from my side.
Yes.
Okay, wait. It's a bit laggy. Okay. Hi, so for this OIP challenge, Doctor Plus Wellness is working with TCM community in Singapore to look for a solution, a TCM tongue analyzer for remote TCM consultation and diagnosis. So here's our background information. I'm sure that COVID-19 has greatly affected everybody. The social distancing measures taken has accelerated the need for digitalization of the healthcare industry. So this has come with many challenges, especially for TCM, due to our unique diagnostic method. So currently, TCM teleconsultation mainly uses online tools, video and call tools, email, which are inadequate in capturing the patient symptoms accurately and affecting the efficacy of the diagnosis and the treatment. So here are the problems that we face. TCM has four main diagnostic methods, namely 望闻问切, which means to observe, hear or smell, question, and to palpate. So essentially, we use our senses to collect all the necessary information for diagnosis. Without face-to-face information, without face-to-face consultation, the information that we get is limited. So one of the more unique things that we observe is the tongue. So from the patient, we observe the shape, the size, the color of the tongue, the thickness of the coating on the tongue, and the teeth mark at the side of the tongue, or even the vein underneath the tongue. So this gives us an insight on the body. However, the image of the patient tongues given are often inaccurate due to like the low resolution, low image quality. Different lighting, angle, or filter will also affect the actual image of the tongue. And then as you can see from the image here, this is actually the image of the same tongue. Different color filter actually affect our diagnosis result. And TCM practitioner also have to juggle between various mediums for different part of the consultation. So for example, using WhatsApp or emails to request the tongue image, and then we will use Zoom for video consultation and manually update the information into the clinic medical record system. So we are all looking for this solution to improve the teleconsultation process, namely the plug and play integrated digital tongue image capture, analysis, and database solution. So this solution should cater the needs for both patient and TCM practitioner. So for patient, they can easily upload their tongue images for tongue analysis and respond a list of questions prior to the consultation. For physician, they can receive a correctly white balancing image and system-generated analysis by the AI engine that is integrated in the tongue analyzer prior to the consultation. And the solution also allows the physician to acknowledge the analysis of the result and the information can be captured into the clinic EMR system. So here are the details of what we needed for the solution. First, and most importantly, the solution must be able to guide and assist patient in taking the accurate image of the tongue via the mainstream smartphone cameras. So this could actually include having the framing brackets in the user interface to guide the patient to accurately position the tongue and capture different views of the tongue, preferably in 3D image. And then auto editing of the captured image to ensure that they have correct white balance for accurate diagnosis. Ideally, the tongue captured should look as close as how they are in the real life. Second, it could have a visual tongue representation, such as a digital heat map or a graphic representation of the tongue, so that the patient can add digital pins or annotation to indicate things like the cracks, the coating, or the blister that happens to exist on the different part of the tongue for a more accurate diagnosis. And then third, the solution must be able to provide patient with a preliminary diagnosis survey or any other variants to capture patient response and input their current condition in order to streamline the consultation process. And then fourth, it must include a tongue image database with machine learning capabilities so that patient-centric data can be captured and collected. So over time, with the large database of the tongue images, the solution machine learning capabilities should be able to offer TCM practitioner a list of preliminary symptoms or the recommended diagnosis and prescription. And then the fifth, the solution must allow the export of the patient data and tongue image to the existing digital clinical management system or the electrical medical record software. And then it must have English and Mandarin language option. 7, it must be user-friendly, definitely, and intuitive to guide the less tech-savvy user to capture the accurate tongue image and must be mobile-friendly. And then 8, it must adopt a plug and implementation model so that it can be first integrated into the mainstream telemedicine apps with video conferencing function. And lastly, hopefully, if possible, the solution could also have a data mining and management system to facilitate the data mining of images, health condition, symptoms analysis to identify the health trends and possibly preempt the possible health outbreaks. So here are the possible use cases. First, we have the TCM practitioner as the user. So with the solution, the TCM physician is able to get a clear tongue image and completed the pre-diagnosis checklist or survey from patient prior to the teleconsultation session. So through the tongue image and pre-diagnosis checklist, the patient respond during the video teleconsultation. Doctor will be able to receive an intelligent recommendation on the possible symptoms and is able to make a accurate diagnosis without the face-to-face interaction. And then all this information is able to be automatically updated into the clinic EMR system. And then next we have the patient user who is less tech savvy. So she is able to navigate the solution easily with clear instruction given in her preferred language option, in this case in Mandarin. And she is guided to take several images of the tongue, which is auto-corrected for white balance and saturation level to ensure that accuracy and high image quality. The solution then proceeds to conduct a pre-diagnosis survey, which prompts a specific question and suggested possible symptoms based on the result of her earlier tongue analysis, so that the TCM practitioner has a clearer understanding of her condition pre-consultation. This helps to shorten the times for remote consultation and to increase the accuracy for the diagnosis. So what's in it for you? For this, I think everyone is almost the same. We given 20K prize money for the winner for this challenge, and the winner can gain access to the team of experienced TCM practitioner and gain the resources from IMDA and co-innovate with the MOH TCM practitioner task force and the opportunity to commercialize the solution. So this sector-wide challenge is actually a collaboration between Doctor Plus Wellness and the TCM community, the Ministry of Health Traditional Chinese Medicine Practitioner Task Force. So Doctor Plus Wellness is a Singapore-based company. We have developed Doctor on Click, an integrated healthcare workflow platform, which aims to improve the patient outcome and reduce the healthcare costs through virtual doctor visit. The sector lead, we have a MOH TCM Practitioner Task Force. It was first set up to enable TCM to play a large supportive role to fight against the next disease outbreak. The supporting member for this challenge will be the Academy of Chinese Medicine Singapore, Singapore Chonghua Medical Institution, Singapore Tongchai Medical Institution, Singapore College of Traditional Chinese Medicine, and NTU Chinese Medicine Alumni Association. So similar evaluation criteria, you will be evaluated based on the solution fit, readiness, solution advantage, and your company profile. Okay, thank you. We'll go to our Q&A session for now. Yeah.
Thank you, Jesslyn. I think you do have your colleagues who are joining you for the Q&A session as well.
Yeah, so we have our...
Major, perhaps you just introduce them.
Yeah, so we have Dev here who will be answering all the IT-related questions. He's the director of the company. Yeah.
Hi, Dev. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, everyone. Hi, thank you. Let me know if any questions relates to technical side I can answer that. Relates to AI, machine learning, or integrations.
Sure. Okay, there is one question. I'm not too sure. Is if we are to profile the users, we might need to collect basic info required for profiling, analytics, and stuff. So
basically, the data will be, we will be collecting, you will be producing a prototype of app, basically, and we will be all the data will be stored on DPW's cloud storage, and then it's will be specifically, it's not will be, data will be not belongs to you guys. It will be just to train the model, and will be still will be back to the clouds here. So you have to access from the clouds, train, and put it back. So we will preferably try to use the cloud solution for training the models will be better. So we can help you to link up.
Thank you. Okay, there's one question from my anonymous attendee. Are you looking for an on-cloud or on-prem solution?
We are looking for a cloud-based solutions. Basically, in a start, when we are collecting the data, we need to have a small prototype of app where we can just collect the pictures and some basic informations, and we can slowly put it, the whole things in the clouds. And eventually is a RESTing API going to be, so it can be integrated to different peoples who are partners, as well as you can scale it up to the market.
Okay, there's a question for Mike Zhang. Are there other data that could be used for the TCM doctor to better assess the patient?
So for us, generally, we will just do the face-to-face consultation. So in this case, we'll work with TCM's community site to provide you with more of the accurate data and from the different experts in the TCM community. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there's a question. How are you envisioning the 3D reconstruction for heat maps and texturing?
So for this, like when you take a picture of the image, generally it's in 2D shape. So hopefully, like the image, we can twist and turn and look at the image of the tongue, because for TCM physician, we don't just look at the surface 2D image, we look at the side and the underneath of the tongue. So hopefully the solution can guide the user to like flip their tongue or take a different angle so that it can come up with a 3D solution.
Interesting. Good question. Thank you. Okay, let me see. Any other questions? The 3D through photogrammetry process requires processing. I'm not too sure what question that is.
Yeah, I don't get the question as well.
Are you able to see the questions in the Q&A box?
Yeah. I'm not too sure about the 3D through question.
Yeah,
here.
from Azhar Malik. So Azhar, if you are still online, perhaps you could just clarify a little bit. There's a question. Are there any current image databases that you guys are currently using?
For now, we don't have, so we're looking to work with the partners. So like we'll have TCM physician to help taking the image and then give you an idea of what is the actual diagnosis. yeah, so for now, you can just look up online to show us what is your proposed solution, and then we can work together to improve the database eventually.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions from any solvers? While waiting for additional questions, I'm not sure if Dev or Dr. Laura, you'd like to add anything to the discussion for the solvers?
I think for the solver, it's a great opportunity to be launch something involved into medical field and evolve because this is with the whole community support. So specifically government agencies are also involved to be support this project. So I believe you guys have to really can accelerate this to the whole community of almost like 3,000 over community peoples in Singapore, as well as to worldwide, I believe, eventually. Because TCM industry is looking for this image classifications. From there, you can really accelerate and add on other features in it to be, that's, so you need to start a little bit brainstorming how you're going to do that. But this will be a very basic image classification model, as you can understand that. And so it should be.
Thank you, Dev. Okay. I don't see, there is one new question from an anonymous attendee. Are you available for high-end hardware for processing? I think if it's a cloud environment, I think hardware is not an issue.
It's not feasible for the whole community because you keep moving it one place to other. It's totally disastrous.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll just share this perspective for the solvers. So there is a difference between enterprise challenges and sector-wide challenges. So for enterprise challenges, the problem statement is unique to the enterprise. For sector-wide challenges, the sector lead is obligated to propagate the solution to the rest of the sector. So there's a huge opportunity for the solvers out there. Okay. Azahar has clarified. So the question was 3D reconstruction through photogrammetry will be rendered on your cloud. Is that correct?
Dev, you might
Dev?
want to answer this question.
If you see the Q&A bar, there's a question by Azhar Malik. The 3D reconstruction through photogrammetry will be rendered on your cloud, on the cloud.
Yes, yeah. So yes, Azhar.
Okay. So, okay, I think we shall move on to the next section. Thank you so much, Dr. Laura. Thank you so much, Jaslyn. Thank you so much, Jess. If you could just stay on to type out any answers to some of the questions that will continue to trickle in. With that, on behalf of IMDA, thank you so much for participating and being here with us today. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll next introduce the last speaker, the final presenter for today. She is Ms. Sharon Lee, founder and managing director of Genesis Frontier. Genesis Frontier is a wholesaler and distributor of Japanese anime manga trading cards and collectible toys for Southeast Asia. So they distribute brands such as Bushiroad, Good Smile Company, Bandai Spirits, Ichiban, Kuji, Aniplex Plus, and many more. So she is a firm believer in lean practices and a customer-first approach to her business strategies. Excuse me. She will share more about seeking enhanced customer engagement platform through rewards, loyalty, and community. So with that, over to you.
Thank
Sharon.
you.
Good
Thank
afternoon
you.
to you.
Good afternoon. Thanks everyone for staying until my presentation. And thanks IMDA for this opportunity. Let me share my screen. I'll try and keep this as short and sweet as possible. I know everybody's probably tired. Okay, well, for Genesis Frontier, what we want, what we hope to get out of this is an enhanced customer engagement platform through rewards, loyalty, and building a community. So this is the content, and So what we do, we specialize in distribution of Japanese animation, manga, trading card games, toys in Southeast Asia through online and brick and mortar retail channels. So we have small neighborhood shops in our network, as well as large retail chains like Toy Games, TOG, and Play E. And of course, this industry is very, very competitive for us. So currently, what is happening to us is that we have multiple points of engagement across our retailers and customers. So when we roll out any like promotions or engagement programs, they're usually from us to our retailers, and then from the retailers to the customers. So the engagement is a little bit disparate. It's not seamless. So we don't really get to hear from the customers what they think, how we do. We hear from the retailers, who hear from the customers. So in between, there's also a little bit of interpretation going on here and there as well. Then, of course, we also run into some issues where sometimes the retailers also don't follow through. They have their own interpretation. They do it themselves. They do their own promotions with what we give them. So our efforts to reach out, engage customer is actually quite limited. So what we seek is actually, we're hoping to design and develop a data-driven customer engagement platform. So what we want to do is we want to reward both our retailers for coming on board with us, buying from us, and then of course the end users for supporting our retailers for their purchases. And then of course we also want to build an online community. We want to connect all the Animanga fans in Southeast Asia for toys, games, create a community with them. So this, and we want to drive loyalty through a unique reward system, community building, better retention of overall customer base. So what we want is to have a centralized platform where the information across individual retailers and distributor sites are together. So we want to be able to capture our customer behavior data so that we can better engage them. We want to leverage on hopefully immersive technologies, AR, VR, IR, to create a community building experience. So for example, they can maybe scan through their phone a figurine, for example, and share with everybody the 3D image of their figurine so that people will see, they will like, they will buy. What we want is also to achieve stronger brand loyalty for all our principals. And then of course, we want to increase the value proposition for purchasing from local authorized retailers. I think a lot of you can understand that. Singapore being an open economy and all that, we also, as a distributor, we always have competition from parallel importers. So that's what we seek as a value add to our chain as well. So basically the problem statement, how can we build a digital community platform that leverages on immersive technologies to better engage our customers, our retailers, for stronger brand loyalty and product conversions into purchases. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a prototype solution for digital rewards, loyalty programs. We would like it to utilize immersive technologies to engage our retailers, our end users, so that they become, our brand loyal to the brands, and they purchase from us. We want to track their personal profile. So we want to see their customer, like the purchase history, from which retailer they buy from, how they participate in online communities. These are all for us to better understand what are their preferences, what they like, what they don't like, for example, which title they prefer, which customer profile prefers this or that title, for example. And then from there, we can actually feed it back also to our principals, and then it also affects the product design. So Animanga community, we want to enable creation of an online community so that end users can actually engage with each other. They can share what they buy. They can trade if they want to. They can sell their secondhand. So it's also a secondhand market that we're trying to create. So we also would like to be able to roll out like exclusive content. For example, if we have prototypes for previewing, we would like to be able to engage the community and then be able to share it with them as well. So we also want mobile-based immersive technologies. We all know our customer base, they're young, between 18 to 35, maybe some older, but most of them are very, very connected on their mobile phones. So I think it makes more sense for us to have a mobile-based technology. Then data insights, this is a must. So we would like a data collection framework so that we're able to actually see things like purchase history, interaction, and we can give them probably more accurate recommendations, both downstream to the customers if we choose so, and definitely upstream to our principals who are the designers of the product. And then also feedback loop, real time if customers want to feedback about what their experiences are, what they want, what they don't want to see, what's not working for them, that would help us a lot as well. So supporting the e-commerce fulfillment, this one I leave it open. Hopefully we should be able to integrate to mainstream ordering, delivering payment systems so that end users and retailers do not need to perform like additional actions if they want to like, deliver, or customers want to interact with each other, buy, sell, trade and all that. So let me go on to the next one. Ooh. Okay. So possible use case, this is probably what it's going to look like, but I'm open to anything. Please tell me what your solution is about. This is all about innovation. So maybe what I see may not be what you see. Okay, so what's in it for you? Prototype, 30,000 prize money, co-innovation with us. We're very, 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 very keen on innovation. We love to experiment. So please come to us, tell us what your ideas are. I would love to explore with you. Of course, I think for INDA, you gain access to the technology resources, facilitating for your prototyping. And then there's definitely potential partnership with us as well for market scalability in the future. So yeah. And then this one, evaluation criteria, I think everybody knows this, huh?
Yep, it's standard across all
standard
challenges.
across, yeah. So this is the deadline. Yeah.
Deadline
Thank you.
deadline for submissions is
Yes,
19th of March, as with all challenges as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all, Sharon.
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
Me and my slideshow, and okay, my PC is stuck again.
Okay, awesome.
I can't unshare. Let me unshare.
Okay, so for everyone, thank you, Sharon. Thank you
Okay.
for sharing. Please type in your questions in the Q&A section below, and then I'll try to get I'll try to read out those questions and for Sharon to answer. Okay, maybe Sharon, could you just maybe share a little bit about? Oh, that's a question. How big is the Animanga community in Singapore?
How big? Actually, I can honestly tell you I don't know anymore, because it used to be a very niche community until Anime Festival Asia started in Singapore about 10 years ago. And then what we saw was participation rates of people from all over Southeast Asia coming in. There are about 1,000 participants, all 3 days of AFA. And then what we found was that during the COVID-19, when COVID-19 came, Netflix started investing a lot on anime content. And then what happened was that we also experienced an explosion in demand for our products with our retailers, both online and offline as well. So I would say at this point of time, it's hard to say anymore. But it seems to be growing.
Thank you. There's another question. Are you selling just in Singapore or Southeast Asia wide?
Right now we service Southeast Asia, so mostly based in Singapore, but we do have retailers in Indonesia. We have retailers in Malaysia. I have some partners as well in Brunei, Vietnam, and Myanmar as well.
Okay. There's a question. How many SKUs do you have?
A lot.
By the hundreds and maybe thousands.
Thousands.
Thousands. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you explored some of the available platforms? Because there are loyalty and rewards platforms. Maybe you can share a little bit about some of their constraints. Yeah.
Okay, the constraints. Okay, I did. I mean, this is honest on the table. I did explore some solutions that are already in the market, but none of them quite fit what we want. So often you will find a reward solution that covers retailer to customer, but we are kind of left out of the loop. So we cannot manage one whole network where we get to see what our retailers are selling. We roll out something through our retailers to the customers. We can't really track the customers, who are they buying from, what are they buying, how much are they spending, and things like that. So that is the gap that I find that the current solutions don't quite fit. And if they try to fit, normally the cost is times the number of retailers that I have, which is a lot. And that's not practical for us lah.
Thank you. Thank you. So here's a question. Do you have exclusive rights for the countries you mentioned?
Yes, I do. For most brands,
To
I
distribute?
do. For most brands, I do have exclusive distributor rights. Yes, and we have very, very close relationships with some of our principals, like Bushiroad, Bandai Spirits for Ichiban Kuji. So in terms of, they are very, very big on customer data, customer-centric approaches and all that. So they are very easy to work with.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, no more questions. Please keep the questions coming. Any
Okay.
questions for Sharon? How many retailers do you have to deal with?
Wow, I lost count already.
In the hundreds.
In the hundreds, yes, in the hundreds.
Okay. Okay. Okay, any other questions? Please type them in the question and answer box below. Okay. Let me see. Okay, is there anything else you would like to share with the solvers, as in, what is really key for you with regards to the solution that you're seeking out?
For us, or for my company, basically we really want to be able to reach out to our customers. I mean, of course, we all know there's things like Facebook, Instagram, where we can reach out to our customers as advertising, customer engagement, ad sets, and all that. But what we really want is to be able to see, for example, what the customers are, how are the customers driven. Like, say, for example, if they're going to a shop, what are they buying, how much are they buying, for example. And then from there, we can see, like, which shop specializes in what items, for example. And then we can actually drive the marketing resources that we have to the right channels as well, so that everybody benefits. So it's also about resource channeling as well for us.
Okay. There's a question from Matthew Pang. What sort of data exchange, do you have with your retailers? Do they provide you any information?
Well, for
Inventory,
now, it's
feedback?
feedback, inventory. Sometimes they will provide us with some inventory data and stuff like that, but it's all really, it's not equal. So some won't give us, some will give us. Then those that give us actually work very well with us. So things, it's very uneven. So we're not getting even if we have good relationships with all of them, and we do talk to them, we engage them, some of it is really like, you can't expect, like, your mom pop shop, for example, in the neighborhood area, for them to have a POS system. They don't have that. They will tell you, oh, agak, my customer buy all this lah. Then it's very hard for us to gauge, how many customers, what are they buying, things like that. And all we can tell is from their purchase data. And that's not quite enough for us to be able to meet their needs as well. And how we do, resource channeling to help them being able to better engage their customers and, of course, increase their sales lah.
Understand. Okay. Any last questions? Please type them in now. I will answer any questions that come in. Okay, so if there isn't any questions, thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much for joining. So yeah, do stay online for just a couple of minutes to answer any questions, or to type out the any answers to some of the questions that the solvers will post online. Yeah. So with that, thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you everyone for all your questions today. For any unanswered questions, we will take them onto the OIP forum after the event. And we really sincerely hope to see all your submissions for the Innovation Call 9. Do join us next week for the second session of the Innovation Thursday, where you will be speaking with other problem owners. So that's on the 4th of March, 2021, next Thursday. So for more information on the challenges, you can please check out our website, www.openinnovation.sg, or email info@openinnovation.sg. So IMDA, we are on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and we will sincerely appreciate if you like, subscribe, and share some of the posts that we have. So with that, big thank you to everybody, to all the prompt owners and the solvers for participating today. So thank you so much. Have a great week ahead, and good afternoon.